just bombed this interview. Let's talk about it. So I've been looking for a new gig because the opportunities at my current role are becoming slimmer by the day. The future prospects for my career are kind of dwindling. So I have been searching the job market, and if you guys haven't seen, the job market is pretty hogwash, right? It's very hard to get interviews. It's very hard to compete against the hundreds, if not thousands, of applications that are being put in, especially in tech right now. So I put my application into this job, and surprisingly, I get an email pretty quickly right back from the recruiter saying, "Hey, let's set up some time in the next few days to have a conversation." So I sent my time saying basically I have one meeting in the next 3 days because I'm doing a lot of work on the outside, so I can do a call during those times. So I really only have one meeting that I can't skip. And I didn't really specify, I meant like starting tomorrow. So about 10 minutes later, I get a phone call saying, "Hey, it's blah, blah, blah from blah, blah, blah. Do you have time to chat?" And initially, I was like, "Oh, this is awesome," right? That's my initial thought. But thinking back on it, I should have been a little bit more proactive and said, "Oh no, I need a little bit more time. I need to gather my thoughts. It's 4 o'clock on a random Wednesday or Thursday, and I've been working since 7. I'm probably not in my right state of mind, but because of the job market and I really wanted this opportunity, I was just so gung ho to get into this conversation, and I was like, yeah, let's do it." And slowly but surely, the conversation went south, right? I wasn't performing at my very best. I think my brain was just not in the mood, or, people have bad days. I'm human. You're human. Everybody's human. We all have our bad days, and we have times where our brain doesn't work, and it's always at the worst times. So essentially, we get through some of these, the typical recruiter questions. What are you looking for? Why are you leaving? What's your desired salary? And then out of nowhere, and I haven't had a real, recruiter experience lately, but I don't remember having a bunch of, recruiters ever ask me in an initial screening to answer technical questions. And these were, I'll preface this by saying this was very low bar technical questions, and I still felt like I was struggling. The first question was about, CIDR notation and how many IP addresses in a certain CIDR, and my brain just was not going to math, right? I had to break out the calculator to say, what's 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, and like work my way down subnets because my brain was just not mathing. And we used to have to, like cult-like repeat 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128, 256, 512, 1024, just embedded in our brain over and over and over and over again. But when it came down to it, I just dropped the ball. I just dropped the ball, right? And I was so disheartened after that phone call because, one, I really like this. I like the place that I was applying to. They do really good business. And I was so excited for the opportunity, and I feel like I just came up super short and didn't get to preview my actual skills, and I just felt like I was stumbling on my words. I was just not at my top of my game. So I crashed out. I had a bad night because I just kept replaying these thoughts in my head, and the questions and the answers that I kept giving just kept replaying over and over and over and over again. And I just want to say, this is the point of the video is we all have bad days, and we're all going to have times where we come up short at interviews, even if you're at the top of your game. Even if you're studying every day, if you're, going out and you're doing the right things all the time, you're going to have a bad day. You're going to slip up. You're going to have those times. So maybe this is a message to myself, but also a message to you all that it's going to happen. So just let it happen and don't dwell on it too much, right? So that's my message to you all, is just don't dwell on it. I bombed it, and it was an initial screening for 20 minutes. I just bombed for 20 minutes. So what I'm going to do is be more assertive, right? I was so excited for this opportunity that I didn't even stop to think, am I prepared enough to have this conversation? You want to put your best foot forward in these conversations. And I was so excited that I didn't even think about that. So slow down, take a breath. And if you feel yourself struggling in an interview, also just slow down, take a breath. I just kept going and digging myself probably a deeper hole with some of the other technical questions because I was just missing things because I set a number of IPs and then I couldn't think past that number of IPs for the next 15, 20 minutes. It was just not ideal. So I'm going to take a breath. I know that I am valuable in what I have in my head and just the way I present myself in other situations, my calmness when chaos happens. I know I have value and I know you guys have value. And if you're anything like me, you're going to hurt yourself by talking negatively to yourself over and over again about these opportunities and things like that. So I would just slow down, take a breather, and let yourself be okay. Let yourself fail every now and then and say, hey, things happen. But tomorrow, we're gonna get back after it. We're gonna be better tomorrow. Failure happens. It does. So take a breath, realize that you're still awesome and you have value and it's okay. It's gonna be okay. Times are tough, but you are tougher. And that's a cliche, but whatever. Yeah, that's my story. I bombed an interview. Whatever. It happens. So thanks for sticking around. If you have any fun stories of an interview that you bombed or, any types of tips or tricks on how to get yourself out of that cycle once you start it, hey, just leave them down in the comments. I appreciate everybody listening to the video. If you have any other funny stories, put them down in the comments. Also, please like, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Thank you.